Raider Nation, what's up? It's your boy Simone Raider with another video, and it's another pre-game preview with the Raiders versus the Vikings at US Bank Stadium. Now both clubs are 1-1, and after this Sunday, one of these teams are gonna be 2-1. Hopefully the Raiders. But without further ado, let's get started with this pre-game preview.
You tell them one thing, just win, baby.
Now, coming off of a disappointing loss against the Kansas City Chiefs, the Raiders look to bounce back week 3. Just like last week, this will not be an easy task for Derek Carr and company. This is the start of a long 6-week road stretch for the Raiders. The Vikings, also coming off of a tough loss, looks to get back in the win column. Kirk Cousins has been struggling to incorporate his star wide receiving duo these past 2 games, but the run game behind Dalvin Cook has been the highlight of their offense. If the Raiders want to have any success against the Vikings, they may have to stop Cooks from breaking out any big runs and make Cousins beat them through the air. This may seem a bit hard to understand after letting Mahomes and company go down the field all throughout the second quarter of last week's game, but Cousins is no Mahomes. Offensively, the Raiders just need to play their game of smash mouth football and control the clock. Let's just hope we can leave this weekend with another W. So right now, before we get started with the rest of this pregame preview, you guys know what time it is. It's time for your Nation News. First up in Raider Nation news, Jalen Ramsey to the Raiders have been the talking point throughout the whole week. A lot of Raider fans have been wondering and hoping that Jalen Ramsey can be traded to the Raiders. As you guys know, the Raiders are one of 6 teams trying to trade for Jalen Ramsey. The Jacksonville Jaguars, after Ramsey expressed his feeling for moving on and finding a new home, they have made their market known that they just want a first-round pick. Not too long ago, they kind of upped the ante to ask for 2 first-round picks. I'm almost certain that no team is going to give them 2 first-round picks for Jalen Ramsey. And we know that Jalen Ramsey does want to play in Tennessee or maybe Las Vegas, as he stated in a podcast that he had earlier in the offseason on Buzzing with the Boys. But who knows whether he will come to the Raiders or if he goes to another team. We just know that we're one of the teams that are really looking and really interested in getting Jalen Ramsey. After last week's horrible game, letting the Kansas City Chiefs just throw all over this defense, we know that the secondary needs a lot of help, and Jalen Ramsey can be one of those pillars to help this defense out. But Raider Nation, what do you guys think? Would you guys trade a first-round pick for him? Would you guys even trade 2 first-round picks for Jalen Ramsey? Let me know down in the comments below. In other news, the Raiders traded for wide receiver / return specialist Trevor Davis from the Packers. The Raiders traded away a 2026 round pick for the return specialist. This guy is a speedster. He ran a 4.3 in the NFL Combine. After last week's game, Harris tweaked his ankle, looks to be shaken up. That's what made the Raiders go out and bring in Trevor Davis from the Packers, who also is just a solid returner for this team for the time being, and hopefully he could be a player for the future. But we wait James Burris just to make some room for Trevor Davis on this squad. And the last bit of news for this show, we have a new all-time passing leader for the Raiders franchise. Derek Carr has finally surpassed Ken the Snake Stabler for the most passing yards on this team, which is a great accomplishment. In his 6 years playing, he's thrown for 19,196 yards, surpassing Ken the Snake Stabler's 19,078 yards. This is a huge accomplishment for Derek Carr, and congratulations to him. For me, I've always loved Derek Carr, and I hope he can bring us over the hump. He's had a lot of ups and downs throughout the years, but hopefully, just hopefully, he can be that franchise quarterback that we need for the future of this franchise. Now, for one of my favorite segments of this show that I just added like last week is my neck and my back play of the week.
My neck and my back.
This play of the week goes to Josh Jacobs, yes, again, for a really great 51-yard run in the third quarter to bring a little bit of spark on this team. Let's take a look.
Open up the handoff here to Jacobs. Slips out of a tackle, and the rookie's taken off.
Woo, that boy got wheels, man. I thought he was going to take it to the house, and hopefully sometime this year he can break out for a big run and actually score a touchdown. But that was a great run by Josh Jacobs. He has a really great future on this team. And trust me, it was pretty hard trying to find a play for this week. There was a lot of great candidates out there. Matchup of the week. So for this week's matchup of the week, it goes to Tyrell Williams and Xavier Rhodes. Now, Tyrell Williams is our #1 wide receiver, and maybe that's not saying much, but he's the best weapon we have on this offense, alongside of Darren Waller and Josh Jacobs. He's our #1 receiver, and he's got to have a great game this week if the Raiders want to have any type of success. But it's not going to be easy as he goes one-on-one with the great one. Okay, I don't know if he's the greatest, but he's one of, if not the best cornerback in this league. Has been dominant, and it's not easy to get a lot of catches on him because he does not allow a lot of catches. But Tyrell Williams, he's got to do a great job going downfield, making some big plays. He's going to be shadowed by Xavier Rhodes most of this game, so hopefully Derek Carr can find him deep for a touchdown or maybe just a couple of big plays. I just want to see Tyrell Williams out there doing his thing, especially against one of the top corners of the league. It's your storylines of the game. Number 1, play all 4 quarters. Now the Raiders did a great job last week playing in the first quarter. In the second quarter, we pretty much know what happened. But the Raiders did a great job defensively in the second half of the game to stop Kansas City from scoring any more touchdowns. But the offense did not do their job. They didn't score at all since the first quarter. In this game, we have got to play with intensity all 4 quarters. Like I've always heard before, this game is a game of 4 quarters, and if the Raiders want to win and do anything great this year, they're going to have to play all 4 quarters and win in every single quarter. Number 2, stop Dalvin from cooking. Now Dalvin Cook has been one of the top running backs so far this year and has been the spark on this Vikings offense. So far in 2 games, Dalvin Cook has rushed for 265 yards for 3 touchdowns, and he has been nothing but spectacular for this Vikings offense. And if the Raiders want to do anything to win this game, they have to stop Dalvin Cook from scoring any huge touchdowns, especially against our defense. In the first game, the Raiders did a great job containing the Denver Broncos passing game, but kind of struggled in the run game. Last week, the Raiders did a great job against the Kansas City Chiefs running game, but did a horrible job in the passing game. But this week, the Raiders have got to contain Dalvin Cook in this run game and also contain their passing game as well, because they do have 2 stud receivers in Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs out there. So the Raiders overall on this defense has just got to stop everybody. But it all starts with Dalvin Cook. And number 3, protect the car again. Now last week, the Raiders gave up 3 sacks to Derek Carr after not having any sacks in the first game. This game, we have to do a better job at protecting Derek Carr in the pocket. As you guys know, when Derek Carr has time in the pocket, he can do great things. In the first game, he had nearly a perfect game because the offensive line protected him. And in this game, we're going to have to do just that, especially against this defense that has talent all over. We have got to stop Derek Carr from getting sacked. But on Derek Carr's part, he's got to go out there and have confidence to sling the ball down the field and make big plays, because we're really going to need it if we want to win this game. Players to watch. Now I have 3 plays for you guys to watch in this game against the Minnesota Vikings. Number 1, if it isn't obvious already, is Richie Incognito. After missing the first 2 games due to suspension, Richie Incognito returns this Sunday against the Minnesota Vikings. Another added piece to this offensive line, and hopefully, just hopefully, this helps out Derek Carr tremendously on offense. And Richie Incognito is going to be a big key part on this offensive line. Number 2, Derek Carr. Obviously, the quarterback of the team, Derek Carr, has got to do a better job. In the first game, he did a flawless job beating the Denver Broncos, but last game, after getting shaken up 3 times in the pocket, he's got to do a better job fighting his receivers. And I know maybe the game plan changed and he didn't have enough time to sling the ball down the field or even have weapons to sling the ball down the field. And I do want to see Derek Carr's confidence at an all-time high in this game, because we're going to really need it if we want to win this game. Derek Carr has proved time and time again that he can be a franchise quarterback, and other time he has proved that he's just a regular quarterback. I want Derek Carr to go out there and ball out. And last but not least, number 3, Lamarcus Joyner. Now Lamarcus Joyner is the vocal leader on the secondary, and last week, after a lot of miscommunications and a lot of broken plays, and maybe it's because the Chiefs have an elite offense, but Lamarcus Joyner has got to be a better player out there, communicating with the rest of the secondary, trying to cover every single receiver and not letting any deep balls get past him. We paid a lot of money for him, so I'm hoping for him to step up in this game, not give up any big plays to receivers like Adam Thielen and even Stephon Diggs. And with Jonathan Abram out for the rest of the season, we're going to need Lamarcus Joyner to be that leader that we paid him to be for the rest of the season, especially in the secondary. All right, Raider Nation, that is all I have for you guys today in this pre-game preview against the Minnesota Vikings. I'm hoping that the Raiders can go out and get another victory out there in Minnesota. Like I said earlier, this is not going to be an easy showing for the Raiders, but I do believe the Raiders can go out there and get this W, especially if they can execute great plays and just play the game that they know how to play. So Raider Nation, did I miss anything in this video? Please drop it down in the comments below and let me know your thoughts on this game. And if you guys enjoyed this video, then please smash that like button. I would gladly appreciate that. And if this is the first time you are watching this video, then please hit that subscribe button and hit that notification icon button just to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this one. And I want to just give a huge shout out to the nation out there for supporting this channel, because we just recently hit 13,000 subscribers on this channel. Woo! I mean, man, I can't thank you guys enough for this constant support on this channel. I appreciate every single one of you guys, and I hope the Raiders can go out there and just appreciate us Raider fans as well with a W. With that being said, this is your boy Simone Raider, and until the next video, your boy Simone Raider is yeah.